Good day, future RMTs. Welcome to the discussion of arthropods. Our learning objectives are as follows. Number one, discuss and explain the rules of arthropods in the world of parasitology and identify clinically significant arthropods. To start with, let us discuss what do we mean by chitinized exoskeleton. This is a feature that can be seen into arthropods. This trinitized exoskeleton is unique to arthropods. This is what we call a structure outside the body of the arthropods. There is what we call insoluble polysaccharide, which provides support to the internal organs of the arthropods. And that's the outer covering of the body of our arthropods. We also have what we call hemocyli. This is a blood containing spaces present in the body of arthropods. As we all know, they bite and they uh, ingest blood. No, they withdraw blood from the body. We also have what we call metamorphosis. When we said metamorphosis, that's the transformation. You all know that even before, no? You know that what is metamorphosis? The transformation of the arthropods, no? Okay. The transformation from one stage to another. Kumbaga, in the life cycle, no? That's the development. That's the transition. We also have what we call the nymph. This developmental stage of a certain arthropods that morphologically resembles the adult. And the pupa, no, enclosed resting stage of the selected arthropods. Cocoon. You're all familiar with this. Your basic science course taught you of this one. No, the metamorphosis, the nymph, and the pupa. Now, common to all arthropods at some point in the life cycle is the pair of jointed appendages, no? Genetized skeleton, and hemocoel. Yan. These are all common morphological forms of arthropods. Point of the life of the arthropods. Okay? Generally, they are bilaterally symmetrical like your nematodes. Okay? And the disease associated to our arthropods is what we call infestation. Right? Now, how are we going to preserve arthropods? We can use 70% ethanol. Your alcohol in that home can be a preservative for arthropods. No, alternative preservatives for arthropods includes the 5% formalin, sterile saline, and the Burles medium. Okay. Now, in terms of laboratory diagnosis, adult visible is already adult form is already visible at our naked eye using our naked eye. Unlike the parasites, no, we have to use the aid of the microscope. In arthropods, our naked eye is capable of uh, visualizing the adult form. That's why, no, if you place the adult form in the microscope, kahit hindi mo nga ilagay sa microscope, kita mo na siya eh. But for detailed its structure of the arthropods, no, you will appreciate it if you will have the use of the microscopes. Okay? So what are the arthropod-human relationship? They are parasite. They are uh, infesting the body. No? Arthropods may become temporary or permanent residents of the human host. Halimbawa, yung kuto, no, lisa, they can be temporarily residing on the humans, but they can be permanent resident if not eradicated. Arthropods may cause human disease themselves. Lyme disease, for example. Okay? Arthropods may serve as mechanical transfer agents of diseases. For example, for parasitic infection. No, the flies is an example of a vector, mechanical agent. Some arthropods are parts of the life cycle, involved directly in the life cycle. Let's say, for example, uh, mosquitoes in the life cycle of in the life cycle of malarial parasite. They are part of the life cycle. They are important in the life cycle of the parasite. Okay, arthropods may take residence in or on skin or hair, and that is what we call infestation. No, the disease caused by the arthropods is what we call infestation. Okay, arthropods may inject venom during bite. For example, spider. Yeah, they can be venous. Venom, may venom sila. Scorpion, venomous din po yun. Okay? It's the relationship. In other words, arthropods no, can cause infection to human. Okay? The life cycle or the initiation of the infestation happens when the arthropod had its bite. Okay? Now, what are the symptoms related? On the site of bite, merong itching, no? Mayroong presence of arthropods, and then the disease that will be capable na i-transfer ng arthropods na yon. Okay? Now, treatment usually involves the use of topical solutions or topical lotions or ointments for bite. Okay? And the complete removal of arthropods is done, no, is recommended para wala nang maging infection ulit. Okay? So, for prevention and control, complete eradication is almost impossible due to what? Arthropod, arthropods' ability, no, to transmit microorganism to offspring. Lack of financial feasibility, lack of physical ability to distribute measures over vast areas, and arthropod resistance to chemical sprays. They can be resistant. I will never forget my student in parasitology. No, our topic is all about arthropods, and we had our quiz, no, and his answer is like this. Okay. Hindi ko alam kung nabulol ba ako nung tinuturo ko yung arthropods at ang sinulat niya is arthrobots. No, siya lang naman yung arthrobots ang sinulat, no. Hindi naman ako na-inform na transformer pala ito, yung nagka-transform, mga robot pala ito, no. Ay arthrobots no. Arthropods. Okay? Arthropods. Hindi po arthrobots, hindi po ito mga robot. Alright? Well, of course, chemical environmental concerns is also a possible because of the use of chemical insecticides or pesticides. Okay. The use of protective clothing and arthropods repellent is necessary. Now, what are the classifications of arthropods? We have the Celopoda, class Celopoda, no, and we have here your centipedes. We have the Pentastomida, that's the tongueworm. Okay. We have your Arachnida. No, we have your ticks, mites, spiders, scorpions. Crustacea, we have your crabs, crayfish, papads, flies. And insecta, we have your mosquitoes, lice, fleas, and bugs. Phylum Arthropoda, class Chilopoda, organism centipedes. Okay. So let's discuss first what is a tick. Tick is a arthropods no capable of transmitting parasite. We have what we call the hard tick. This one is a hard tick, and this one is a soft tick. If we are going to differentiate hard tick from soft tick, there are five criteria. Number one, the fused spherical body, the head, the thorax, the abdomen. No, yun tandaan ha, tandaan natin. That's the three major parts of arthropods: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. So that is present in both hard and soft ticks kasi nga yun yung usual eh. Okay? We have four pairs of legs. Yes, for both hard and soft ticks. Visible capillum on the dorsal side. No? Yun lang. Kay hard tick visible, kay soft tick hindi. Okay? And then scutum, okay? Present ulit kay hard tick pero kay soft tick hindi. This is an example. Take note guys that usually hard tick are Isoday or Isodes. No? These are your hard ticks. And then Argasidae is the soft ticks. Isodes or Isodidae are the hard ticks. Argasidae are the soft. Okay? Well, of course, there are four morphological stages of the ticks. The egg, the larvae, which is also considered as the juvenile stage. You have the nymphs and you have the adults. Usually, the life cycle of ticks took place for 1 to 2 years. Okay, the eggs of the ticks are hatched and develop on the ground, and then the motil larvae migrates to the blades of the grass, twigs, feed via blood meal for a few days, and fall to the host, back to the ground, and molt. Parang kanta yun na, back to the ground. Okay? The eight-legged nymph emerge. That's the continuity of the life cycle. No? Attached to the second host and feed like a larval stage. Fall off the second host, molt, and transform. And then the adult emerge. No? The hard tick feed once as an adult. The soft tick feed repeatedly as an adult. Tandaan, hard, no? Once lang. Pag hard, isa lang. Pag soft, madami. Okay, repeated. And then the mating, the egg deposited on the ground will repeat. And the cycle will repeat itself. Okay, for the epidemiology of ticks now found throughout the world, including US and Mexico. Okay, take note that ticks are not only responsible for transmitting bacterial parasitic infections, but also capable of transmitting bacterial viral infections, including Rickettsia rickettsii or rickettsial diseases. Okay, we have here the ticks genera and species, and responsible for transmitting of what disorder or diseases. Let's say for example, I saw this species, na ito yung mga hard tick natin. Now we have here your babesia species and your Lyme's disease. For Dermacentor species, we have your Rocky Mountain spotted fever. We also have your Ambyloma americanum, no, human ehrlichiosis, Ehrlichia. Okay. We also have your Orthitrodus, okay, Orthitodorus. Okay. You also have your Orthitodorus, which is capable of transmitting relapsing fever. Okay. So clinical symptoms includes reactions to the bite. So allergic reactions, inflammatory, itching, edema, no, hemorrhage. Secondary infections occur when tick mouth parts remain after the attempt to remove the ticks. We also have what we call tick paralysis. This is a serious condition, okay? Because uh, this is resulted when salivary secretions of the certain ticks, particularly the dermacentor, are introduced to the host. And that can lead into what we call toxinemia, not a toxin in the blood, that can lead into what we call tick paralysis. And worst case scenario can lead into death. So treatment is tick removal, place a few drops of ether or chloroform on the tick head and then straight out of skin. Well, of course, prevention, avoid of tick infested areas. Next in line is we have mites, approximately 0.1 to 0.4 millimeters, oval in shape. Ay medyo mahirap itong makita kasi medyo maliit lang din. Okay? The adults burrow into the host, skin, hair follicles, and sebaceous glands. Diba? It lay eggs in the and burrow. Binubutas niya eh. Where they lay their eggs or hatch their eggs. Okay? What else? It can be, or you can contact, you can have these arthropods via person-to-person transmission. Okay? Household members, sexual partners, institutional care facilities, homeless shelters, hospitals, and even in the refugee camps are possible na magkameron ka ng mite infestation. Okay? Ubiquitous in the environment and worldwide distribution. Okay, so these are the species of mites. We have your Sarcoptes scabies, which is considered as the human itch or the human lice, the human mites rather. And the effect on human host directs infestation causing skin reactions. This is what we call the scabies. Scabies is caused by Sarcoptes scabies. We have your Demodex follicularum, no? We have your Demodex, ayan, pati ako nabubulol. Demodex follicularum, which is direct infestation causing skin reactions, no, sa hair follicle naman po ito. Ito naman, we have your Trombicula akamushi, no, found in Japan and Far East. No? Pag daw Japanese, ang magbabasa nito, Trombicula akamushi. Okay? You have that transmit the scrub typhus. Okay. Alam ko natatawa ka doon. Gawin mo siyang ringtone pang pagising sa umaga. Okay. We also have your Liposus, Bakoti, rat mice naman po ito. May transmit, may Cachalpox or Q fever, bacterial infection naman. And we also have your Dermatophagoides species, no, the house mites and worldwide distribution. No, and this can lead into allergic respiratory reactions to individuals. Well, a long-term residency is not established. Little, if any, reaction occurs. Yun nga lang, symptoms of these organisms are rare and species dependent. Wala kang masyadong nararamdaman, but what you will experience is the signs and symptoms of the infection na tinatransmit niya. Okay? So for treatment, prescription creams and lotions, topical solutions, something like that is possible. Well, of course, clean and disinfect clothing, beddings, and towels is possible. Use hot water and dry in hot dryer for the removal of mites. We also have your spider, no? We have your black widow, brown recluse spider, and the hobo spiders, no? And these are the description of our spiders. Okay? Ito naman, no known infestation. What is it capable to transmit is the venom. Okay? Venomous bite and subsequent wound and reaction to venom. Okay, so we have your black widow, no, the throughout USA variants based on location. We have your brown recluse, central USA, no, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. Hobo spider Pacific, south, northwest, and western Canada. Okay, ayan. These are the type of spiders and the representative clinical symptoms of each spider. So for the treatment, no, for black widow spider, no anti-venom for individual. For brown recluse spider, also anti-venom, but not readily available. Okay, palliative care na lang, and pain management and general wound care is the treatment for this type of spider. And the hobo spider bite, no simple wound care to prevent secondary bacterial infections. Okay, so in order to prevent having an uh, contracting with spiders and we prevent, no, or minimize places where spiders can hide and breed. Next in line is scorpions. The same thing with spiders, wala naman po itong infestation, but capable of causing uh, venous reaction. May venom din po siya. Okay, so the life cycle, young scorpions are small version of adults. Young develop in female oviuterus, and after birth, brood or the group of young rides on the mother's back until first molting. Okay, lifespan varies by species, typically 4 to 25 years. Okay, so found worldwide except for New Zealand and Antarctica. Okay, can be found in tropical and subtropical climates, and then two species of medical concern. Take note of this. There are two species of medical concern. We have your Hadrurus species, and we have your Centruroides species. Okay, typically, amount of venom injected is not enough to kill. Yun nga lang, sino yung at risk? Elderly, infant, young children, and immunocompromised. Sting bite is also symptoms associated to scorpions. It becomes painful and swollen, no? And then tingling or numbing of sensation may occur. Now, severe cases may result in hypertension, pulmonary edema, and cardiac arrhythmia that can lead into death. A treatment is scorpion antivenom when available. Okay, and then pain management, well, of course, and medication to control anaphylaxis, which is an allergic reaction to the venom. Next in line is we have the fleas. We have your dog fleas, you have your cat fleas, and you have your human fleas. Alam niyo na naman yan, yung mga Setenocephalides canis and Setenocephalides felis. Di ba? That's the fleas. Now, fleas serves as the intermediate host. No? This is a cat flea found on the skin, and this is a dog flea on the dog. Take note, guys, that fleas deposited eggs on the ground floor by female after mating and feeding. Usually 3 to 10 days ang incubation period. Legless elongate larvae emerge, and then the adult flea excrement in is food source. Okay, the three larval stages occur. Now the third larval stage, spin, a cocoon, and remain in this stage. Yan. So these are the fleas responsible for transmitting this parasite. We have your Diphylidium caninum, the dog and cat tapeworm, Hymenolipis nana, and Hymenolipis diminuta. No? Fleas can also transmit bacterial infections or bacteria, such as your Yersinia pestis, which is a causative agent of plaque, and we have your Rickettsia typhi, which is the causative agent of murine typhus. Yersinia pestis and Rickettsia typhi are all bacteria. No? Diphylidium caninum, Hymenolipis diminuta, and nana are parasites. No? The dog fleas, the cat fleas, and the rodent fleas may reside on a variety of animals. Or may reside on these animals, dog, cat, and rodents, that can also transmit infection to human. Okay. Usually, yung mga location where we can find fleas: carpets, rugs, floors, pillows, household articles where dogs and cats lie. Kaya dapat, no, you must be take extra caution sa pag-aalaga ng mga aso at pusa. Make sure they don't have fleas. Okay, so what is the most common symptom associated to fleas? Itching, dermatitis, ulceration, nodular swelling, and can lead also into bacterial infections if severe cases. We have what we call tungiasis. Tungiasis is caused by Chigoli flea found in Central and South America and even in Africa. No, it begins with superficial tissue invasion and then inflammatory response occur. Treatment is of course removal of the fleas. Okay? Use of commercial products for flea collars, powders, dip sprays, liquid form of lufenurum, okay, to prevent no, the multiplication of fleas. Well, of course, flies, as we all know naman, can transmit also parasite. However, uh, if we are going to compare the features of fleas and mosquitoes, they are almost the same. Okay? So we have here your life cycle. Each developmental stage in the life cycle is morphologically different in terms of its metamorphosis. Now, cocoon occurs before adulthood is reached. Now, we have what we call parasite transmitting flies. We have your chache fly, sunfly, black fly, and deer fly. Now, chache fly, trypanosoma. Sunfly, leishmania. Black fly, onchocerca. Deer fly, loa loa. Deer fly. Loa loa mo pa ba? Oh, di ba? Funny. Okay. For clinical symptoms, few if any symptoms associated with life with fly itself. Usually nga, ito ay capable of transmitting the parasite. Yun. Yun yung common. We also have what we call myiasis. Ano yung myiasis? Yung 'pag inatusan ka ng kapatid mong babae, myiasis. Wala na namang kwentang joke. No, when we said myiasis, it means that is a human tissue infestation by the larval stage of the fly. Typically, treatment is not necessarily. However, topical ointments may be available for minor discomfort, for for itching. Okay? For treatment of myiasis, no, complete incision of the lesion with the treatment to prevent secondary bacterial infection. Well, of course, using insecticides, no, insect repellent, something like that, will help us to prevent into contracting with this arthropod. Lice, no, we have here your head louse, your body louse, and we have your crab louse. Okay? Kapag sinabi nating body louse, that is your Pediculus humanus corporis. Okay? Okay? Pag sinabi nating head louse, also Pediculus humanus capitis. Body louse, Pediculus humanus corporis. Head louse, Pediculus humanus capitis. Capitis. How about the pubic louse? Yeah, it is also possible to have a louse or lice in the pubic hair. Okay, we have here your Pituris pubis. Pitirus pubis. Okay, so we have your Pediculus humanus corporis for head louse. For body louse, for body louse. Pediculus humanus corporis. For head louse, we have Pediculus humanus capitis, and for pubic louse, we have your Pitirus pubis, and that is your pubic louse. Okay, so the head louse or the head lice found no, on the shaft of the hair, neck, and head. The body louse, no clothing fibers, and occasionally on the chest hairs. And then the pubic lice, no, the crab louse naman is on the pubic hair region. Mm, that's why you have to be careful. You have to take care of yourself. No? Be it on the pubic hair, be it on the head or in the body. Kasi meron siyang itching sensation, meron siyang pangangati na pwedeng i-cause sa'yo. And it can cause irritation sa'yo. Okay? That's why proper sanitation and self-hygiene is important. Okay? The eggs pass through trinium stage, typically 24 to 27 days. and the lifespan is about 30 days. They found worldwide, particularly in areas with poor sanitation, poor hygiene, and generally poor hygiene. The mode of transmission is usually person to person. Sharing of combs, no hats, and scabies can be the sources of infection. Okay, the crab lice transmitted through person to person, usually close contact, particularly sexual contact. Okay. Again, we have your pediculosis, that is your pediculus humanus corporis, the uh, yan, the body, no? The head louse is your pediculus humanus capitis. And that infection, no, is what we call pediculosis. Itchy papules at infestation site, local hypersensitivity, can also cause bacterial infection in severe cases. A treatment is the destruction of lice of the egg of the lice, and then of course adults, and then direct application of benzene hexachloride solution lotion to uh, prevent no the mating and the deposition of the eggs of the lice. Well, of course, mosquito no is capable of transmitting also infection. It can be a essential part of the life cycle of the parasite. Essential part of the life cycle of the parasite. Mosquitoes can be found worldwide, and we have here your genera of the mosquitoes, Anopheles. Now, as we all know, malarial parasites, Culex, Aedes, Anopheles, no, Wuchereria bancrofti, Anopheles, Mansonia, Argymaris, and Aedes, Brugia malai. Okay, so that's it. Bugs naman is mga redovid bugs natin, no, capable of transmitting din trypanosomas. And most bugs go through a series of growth stages. Okay, bed bugs, a concern for human health management. We also have your tritomid bugs, or this is what we call the redovid bugs, or the kissing bugs. Okay, capable of transmitting Trypanosoma cruzi, your Chagas disease. Uh, some bugs, such as cockroaches, do not directly cause symptoms. Okay. Calamine or Benadryl lotion can be used no for the treatment caused in the irritation caused by the bugs. Okay, so exposure elimination is impossible. Minimize potential for exposure. Exercise good hygiene and sanitation practices. Vigilant surveillance of the bugs. Kaya yung mga hinihikan nyo din, I don't know, no? Kasi possible din yon na nandun. Doon sila yung mga arthropods, yung mga lice na yan, possible na nandun din sila. That's why you have to be careful, right? So here are your arthropods and the associated organisms and the other effects. You have ticks. So associated organisms are Anaplasma arbovirus, Babesia microti, Borrelia burgdorferi, causative agent of Lyme disease, Borrelia, causative agent of relapsing fever, Ehrlichia, Francisella, Rickettsia species, and Flavivirus, tick-borne encephalitis. Okay, we also have your mites, St. Louis encephalitis, no, scabies naman, Western equine encephalitis, and Rickettsia species. Take note that spiders and scorpions are not associated into other organisms, but meron po silang venom reaction. We have your fleas, the parasites and the bacteria na associated sa fleas is we have your Dipylidium caninum, Hymenopus diminuta, Nana, Yersinia pestis, Rickettsia typhi, the causative agent of murine typhus, and Francisella, the causative agent of tularemia. No? Francisella tularensis, the causative agent of tularemia. Lice, we have your Trypanosoma rhodiense, Gambiense, Leishmania, Onchocerca, Loa Loa, and Bartonella, the causative agent of Oroya fever. Lice, now we have your Borrelia, the relapsing. We have your Bartonella with the trench fever. And we have your Rickettsia prowazekii, no, the typhus. Mosquitoes, no, other organisms involved with it is or are Plasmodium species, Wuchereria, Brugia, Arbovirus, Flavivirus, the causative agent of dengue fever, yellow fever, and then the Toga virus, causative agent of encephalitis, and bugs, we have your redovid bugs or Trypanosoma cruzi. And that's the end of our discussion. Take note, guys, that the proper identification of arthropods requires careful inspection of the head, thorax, and abdominal region, microscopic examination, which may be useful to confirm suspicious scene with the naked eye. Once again, thank you very much at mabuhay ang mga medtech students na hindi sumusuko. Congratulations, you are now done in parasitology.